In today's episode, we traverse a shallow bar crossing.
That was awesome.
We come across some dolphins. We get stuck into some massive bait balls that were just absolutely going off in the hopes of getting onto some nice big predatory fish. And we do a nice smoke up comparison at the end. Stay tuned, you guys are gonna love this one.
Alrighty guys, so we are back on another ski spearfishing mission. It's going to be a good one today. Conditions look excellent. We got the ski. We need to fill her up. Today's mission less about spearfishing. We're just going to get the ski wet. And oh no, it is about spearfishing. We're going to go for crays. We're going to go for some lobster because we're on the south coast and it's time to get some lobster. It's not really the season for it, but there's still a few floating around. Other people have been a bit successful. So we're going to get stuck into it.
We've been really keen to take the ski out at this location for a number of reasons. I spent a bit of time here when I first moved over to New South Wales, and I actually almost got taken out to sea at the age of 10 years old many moons ago here. So very familiar with this area. It was full of swimmers and it was quite nerve-wracking going through on the ski with all the swimmers, the kids around. But everybody was really helpful, steered clear, and obviously going at a slow pace. That doesn't mean that I wasn't stood up looking eagerly in every direction to make sure that I didn't miss a surfer or just a rogue kid or something like that. And then we got stuck into the bar crossing. It was particularly shallow when we made the attempt, and a boat that was behind us for pretty much the whole way out decided to bail and not come out at the end when he saw us make it through. Very nerve-wracking, especially with a bit of wave, but you know what, jet skis are awesome, and we gave it a little boot to get away from the shallow waves.
There's no way those boats are coming out. That was my first proper bar crossing. That was awesome. The jet ski is so maneuverable, can deal with shallow water and accelerates when you need. How fun was that? You didn't enjoy it. Alright, let's go smack some fish.
Then we went out and had a bit of an explore. I've dove just about every part of this coastline, and it's really fun just bouncing from reef to reef and checking out spot, going to all the familiars and trying to work out where we want to dive. Stumble across some incredible viz, and we're just basically exploring here. This is great. We had some dolphins come over to us, jump up, which was absolutely insane. This is the first time this has happened on the ski, and we were blown away. They decided to ride along a little bit more. I got a bit funny with the ski, started trying to play, encouraging the play, and the dolphins really liked it and just kept coming up alongside. I maintained my track as we were heading south, and the dolphins just followed along and played with us, which was amazing. Words cannot explain.
Well, that was pretty cool. We only had the dolphins alongside for a couple of minutes, and yeah, then they decided that they didn't want to play anymore, which is fair enough. We're not going to chase them. But how cool was that? Just having the dolphins come up on the bow of the ski and yeah, have a little bit of a play. Great way to start the day. What do you reckon, Mon? Very cool. She's happy. They're just out in front, but we'll leave them be. And yeah, we're just trying to find somewhere that we can actually rest the boat. So that we can do a bit of a cook up and stuff, but I think I've just found some Spearos that are cray diving in my spot.
After a bit of talking to the camera, the dolphins had kind of died off, and then as soon as we started heading south again, the dolphins came back up and started playing under the ski, and it was just awesome. These guys were really playful. There was only about 3 of them, but they were just, yeah, having a blast with us. We didn't manage to catch much on camera because every time I turned the camera off, we thought the dolphins had gone. They would just all of a sudden jump up in front again. We moved on a bit further south from the dolphins, and we can see why the dolphins were so excited. This bait was just going
a little bit distracted here because of there's fish busting up all around us. Not sure what's eating them, but something's having a good old smack at them, as you can see. So I'm going to hop on in and yeah, with the gun and see if I can smack something. Let's go.
Absolutely everywhere. We'd come just at the right moment, so without further ado, we're going to jump in. We came here looking for crays, but you know what, with bait going this active, there's got to be something smashing it, so let's go down, have a look, see if we can smack a decent fish. Of course, we're remembering to put up the dive flag, even though it seems not many people pay attention to it. We're now diving with a floating flag as well as the dive flag on the jet ski because we've had a couple of incidents and yeah, it's just not worth it. So here we can see I'm greeted as soon as I get in the water with this incredible display of bait just going everywhere. You can see every movement that I make, the bait is reacting to it, which is a fantastic indicator that the bait is being smashed by something larger than itself. If it was just bait feeding, they wouldn't react this way just to my presence. After a bit of swimming around, can't see any kingfish that would have immediately presented themselves, so I decided to take a blue mackerel. These guys are absolutely great. Here's a way that you can icky the fish with the spear tip, especially for the smaller species, and make sure you bleed these guys because they get smelly.
I've only seen one bonnie and the rest are just different types of mackerel, but I might get a few of them and just get them for smoking, and then I can do the smoked fish paste, because you like that. Oh, can I have some water?
But they are fantastic smoked, and they remind me of mackerel that I used to have growing up as a kid in the UK that just lend their flavours to smoking so well. They're just a delicious oily fish. They're a massive undesirable in New South Wales, and sure enough there's a couple of little bonnies bouncing around. This guy manages to evade me. I continue looking in the bait and eye up another blue mackerel. Let him go because the bonnie comes in, and yeah, this time it's not getting away. Lights out for this girl. Now, I can't believe how much of a ripper year 2024 has been for bonito. I don't know what's happened in years previous that have been so favourable towards the bonito, but bonito numbers on New South Wales coast have literally exploded this year. I think every other dive I'm coming home with 3 or 4 bonito. It's just awesome to see great numbers like this.
And then we'll go. I'm going to do like a smoking comparison between these guys and the mackerel. I reckon mackerel will beat them, but...
And hopefully it lasts for years to come, because they're a great eating fish. I do want to mention though, bonito unfortunately are susceptible to becoming mushy. I had this on a previous video. One of the bonito that I took was a mush bonito, which was a first for me, not ideal. We chuck that in the JETSKI, get him on ice as is required for the bonito, and we go for another mackerel. This time not quite a stone shot. I was a bit disappointed, but he did swim into me, which is always nice. So thank you, Mr. Mackerel. They do move fast, so I'll give myself a little bit of a break that they change their speeds quite rapidly, and it's hard, but yeah, unfortunately I did smack him for a bit of the fillet there. Diving down, we've got this beautiful eastern fiddler ray. They're really fun. I've actually been led on the bottom before and had a ray come up on top of me, and they just kind of move from spot to spot and then chill out. Typically you'll find them on top of reef, weed or sand. This goatee was seen in the distance, and yeah, unfortunately he's not getting away. Plug him with a headshot. I pretty much take any big goat that I see. This is one of my favourite fish, not only in New South Wales but also in the world. They are so delicious. The flavour is super unique. Bleed them straight away, get them on ice, have them as sashimi, have them as ramen, have them as smoked. You can do pretty much whatever you want with a goat fish, and they just taste delicious. Even just pan fried, fantastic. Right, after promising Mon again that would have been the final fish, I go for some abalone whilst on the look for cray. This one I managed to get my fingers under, but he had such powerful suction, he trapped my fingers underneath the ab. Can be a bit of a worry, but managed to pop them off, so happy days. Awesome little swim through with a Port Jackson. These guys are just great. Love seeing them every single dive. Really, really common, but really, really friendly, so don't be worried about those guys. And I was hiding down in this weed because there was a snapper in the distance. It was only like 35, maybe 40 tops of a snapper, which would have been great, but he didn't want to come in. Here we've got a blue groper. The blue groper looks a lot like a black drummer in a shaded environment, and the way that they kind of hang around. So always make sure you've got great ID on a fish and verification that it is in fact a black drummer that you're going to shoot, because of, yeah, they do hole up and one's protected, one's not. Here I can see that that's a black drummer. It's moving the way you'd expect a black drummer to. I can see its eyes, I can see its face, and I can see its fins moving. So I take the shot and lights out this fish. Really, really important, guys, when you're shooting into holes that you're not overpowering your gun and getting your spear trapped, because if that's a massive pain. But secondly, you want to make sure that you fully ID the fish that you're about to smack, because it would be pretty miserable to lay a shot into a fish, think that you've got a great meal, and then find out that you've smacked the wrong fish.
Smacked the black out of him. No, he will be. Alright, let's go.
A little bit of a fail on the cray front, but did manage some abs, and yeah, we got some fish. Got a little black drummer at the end, just because why not. But it's time to head in, and hopefully we've got a bit more high tide to work with on the way back in.
With the JETSKI pretty loaded, but not a single cray in sight. We are definitely too early in the season for the crays. I checked a whole heap of holes, even for slippers, nothing to be found, so it was worth a look, but unfortunately we're just a little bit early. We make our way back in, and I was hoping that the tide was going to be more in our favour, but it seems that the swells picked up, which actually shallows out the ground a bit more, and yeah, wasn't so ideal coming in because there were more people surfing and stuff like that. But again, everybody was fantastic, made plenty of room, didn't have to come too close to swimmers on the way in, which was great, but keeping a nice slow speed, trying to get a good reputation for jet ski drivers, as there are a lot of idiots, and we make our way safely back in to the boat ramp and head home.
So we got a bonito, 2 mackerel, and the goatfish, as you've seen, wasn't really the target species at all. We were going after crays, but we just made the most of what was. Really fun shooting these guys. I'm going to do a taste comparison. So going to smoke up the bonito and the slimy mackerel. I'm going to see which one tastes better. And absolutely stoked with this goatfish. That's a thumper for the south coast. So all in all, plus the drummer and the abalone, we got a good feed. Let's do some cooking.
Alright, so now we are well and truly home. It's time to get these fish sorted, prepped, and onto the smoker. So we're doing a taste comparison between the blue mackerel and the bonito. First, we're going to do a nice 12 hours in brine and just let them soak up. Don't forget to soak your wood chips. Today we're using a blend of roughly 40 of apple and cherry wood, and then 20 hickory, just to get rid of the last hickory that I had. Make sure you soak them. It makes a massive difference in producing smoke, which then produces flavour into the fish. After a nice solid smoking session on this old girl, which has been the old faithful for smoking fish for years now, and yeah, it still kicks out awesome smoke, we have got some cracking looking fish. The bonito is looking prime for the belly, and it's a nice moist smoke. It was a quick hot smoke, so let's test it out.
Okay, so we've got our smoked bonito and our smoked mackerel. Unfortunately, we've just found out that the kingfish is a mush king, so game over for the whole kingfish. Gonna freeze some and do some as sash, but yeah, devastating that we've got like 14 kilos of meat and it's mushy. So that's really, really crap. But let's just do a straight up taste test. I really, really like smoked fish skin, so I'm just going to go for the mackerel fish skin first. It's just there, beautiful, crispy, golden, nice and oily. Oh, that's amazing. That literally like takes me back to my childhood. So this is the smoked mackerel meat, and we're going to give it a try. That is really, really good. Tastes like smoked fish. Yeah, fair enough, it's like a bit oily, very fishy, but like super, super good. It complements with the smoky flavour so well. Smoked mackerel's amazing. Let's go smoked bonnie next. Gonna go a small bit of smoked bonnie skin. This isn't as crispy, but it was a larger model. Should have left it in a bit longer, but keen to get it out and try it. Doesn't have anywhere near the flavour that the smoked mackerel had. That's actually crazy how much it was lacking in flavour. That wasn't actually that great. I've gone straight in for the grade A stuff. So this is just smoked bonito belly, and honestly, guys, this is like the prime bits. I'll try and save some for Mon, being a good camera woman, but this is smoked bonnie, and this is the belly.
That is amazing. That is really, really good. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. In comparison, I'd go the oily, slimy mackerel at an 8 out of 10, and I'd go the bonito, the belly, a 10 out of 10. That's delicious. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Stay tuned to the next one because we're going to be out on the ski quite a lot now. Really, really keen to beach up somewhere, get the cob out and get cooking. But unfortunately we need the conditions for it. Stay tuned, hit that like, subscribe, everything else. Until next time, stay wet, stay fed. Catch ya.
And here's just a sneak peek of next week's episode when I went spearfishing out with the legends Tommy and Fletch, and we encountered this big old girl. Yep, that's exactly what you think it is. Stay tuned.